What if it was a very, very senior person? Because remember, this wasn't some isolated, goofy, dirty trick. It was part of a strategic messaging plan by Mark Carney to call Pierre Poilievre a poodle of Donald Trump, to say that Pierre Poilievre was a MAGA. What was Chrystia Freeland's lame nickname that never took off? Maple MAGA. That is so lame. She's so bad at that. But they were trying to make it stick. And so they needed some sort of evidence. And so the evidence they furnished was, oh, look at these MAGA buttons. And they were telling journalists, oh, look at the kind of people Poilievre is. And you can see my beautiful Make Canada Great Again button on the right. Hey, there's one more thing. Look at these buttons. Do you notice something? They don't have written on them, perfect. They don't have written on them authorized by official agent for the Liberal Party of Canada. Have you noticed that legal fine print on every single lawn sign and every single pamphlet and every single ad in this election? It's in small print and it doesn't get in the way of things, but authorized by. Because under the Elections Act, you have to put that on there. I know that because for Canada, the third-party campaign group that I created, says that on every single ad. If you don't say that, you're going to be prosecuted for breaking the law. So they were trying to deceive. Hey, can you call up the website itself? I want to read through it a little bit. From cover to cover, it's only 10 pages. What's the name of the website? Lawbreakers.ca. Pump it up. Let me see it. It's only 10 pages, including the title page and the back page. So really, this is an 8-page lawsuit. So you can see Rebel News Network, that's the plaintiff. That's who owns the trademark. And who are we suing? Look at that, the Federal Liberal Agency of Canada. Apparently, that's the legal name of the Liberal Party. And you see I'm suing John Doe 1 and John Doe 2. It's because I don't know their names. But I promise you, we'll find out who they are. So the statement of claim, blah, blah, blah. This is just some legal boilerplate. Skip down to page number 2. Yeah, keep going. So actually, it's only 7 pages long. This is the first page of the claim. This action is brought against you. The plaintiff is Rebel News. We're claiming damages for passing off. That's what you call it under the Trademarks Act. We want $100,000 in damages, $100,000 for trademark infringement, an accounting of all products manufactured by the defendants or at their request that contain reference to our trademark, a mandatory order requiring the defendants to destroy all products, an interim order restraining them from doing more of this, a declaration that they broke the law of the Elections Act, and punitive damages of $250,000. And I'll explain why a little bit later. So, prejudgment interest, post-judgment interest, the cost of the proceeding, whatever else the court deems judge. Okay, here we are on page 4. Now, here's the real meat of the lawsuit. The plaintiff, Rebel News, is a federal company. Remember the Independent Press Gallery, blah, blah, blah. In 2016, Rebel News filed for the trademark for the slogan, Make Canada Great Again, as it relates to, among other things, paper and printed goods, leather and artificial leather goods, hooded goods, household goods, glass, clothing, footwear, headgear, telecommunications. On or about March 5th, 2019, Rebel News' application was processed, and its trademark became a registered trademark. The defendant, the Federal Liberal Agency of Canada, is the chief agent of the Federal Liberal Party, an organization that operates, blah, blah, blah. Next page. The defendant, John Doe 1, is a political staffer. His identity is not known to us. Same with John Doe 2. Paragraph 7. The Canada Strong and Free Network held its annual national conference from April 9th to 12th at the Westin Hotel in Ottawa. The conference was founded in 2005 by Preston Manning. The conference featured a variety of speakers. The conference took place during the election. John Doe 1 and 2, at the request and with the participation of the Liberal Party, manufactured or caused to be manufactured buttons that had various slogans written on them that would be considered by most people to be conservative in nature. Slogans included lock Justin Trudeau up, stop the steal, there is no climate crisis, et cetera, et cetera. Keep going, next page. I'm almost done. The intention was that people would assume that the various buttons were manufactured and distributed by the Conservatives themselves or by the Canada Strong and Free Network. The purpose of the defendants manufacturing and placing these buttons was to associate the Federal Conservative Party of Canada and its candidates with American President Donald Trump in order to create negative publicity for the Conservatives and to assist the Liberal Party and its candidates' chances in the upcoming federal election. John Doe 1 purportedly admitted his involvement, and that of John Doe 2, in the operation to a member of the media, but later denied having said anything. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation reported that the concept for the operation came from the Liberal Party's war room. By manufacturing and distributing the buttons, the defendants infringed on the plaintiff's statutory rights to the registered trademark. The statutory cause of action for passing off requires three elements. The first is the existence of goodwill associated with valid trademark. The second is confusion or likely confusion. That was the deliberate part. And then the third is the actual or potential damages to the plaintiff. As noted above, some of the buttons use the registered trademark held by Rebel News. There is goodwill associated with it. Next page. Yeah, we signed a licensing deal with MCGA hats. So it's literally a valuable asset. This trademark is literally valuable because we're selling it. The defendants willfully created confusion in the minds of the public that the various buttons were manufactured and distributed by the Conservatives in order to create negative publicity. As a result of the confusion, Rebel News has suffered and will continue to suffer damages. Next paragraph, pursuant to Section 20 of the Trademark Act, our right to the exclusive use of the trademark is deemed to be infringed by any person who is not entitled to the use and who, among other things, sells, distributes, or advertises any goods, manufactures, causes to be manufactures, possesses any goods in association with its confusing trademark or trade name for the purpose of their sale or distribution. I'm not saying the Liberals were trying to sell them, but they were distributing them and they were using them as a political weapon. They might have been selling them too, I don't know. The defendants manufactured and distributed buttons which bear the registered trademark and is owned by Rebel News and without Rebel News' authorization in violation of our trademark rights. For this reason and others set out above, the defendants are liable to Rebel News for statutory trademark infringement. It's pretty open and shut. I mean, it would be like I'm Louis Vuitton and I catch some counterfeiter on the streets of Yonge and Dundas or Times Square selling some fake Rolex watches or something. In addition to being an infringement of the plaintiff's registered trademark, the defendant's conduct constitutes a breach of both Section 320 and 481 of the Canada Elections Act. That's just where you have to, I'll read it. The buttons constituted election advertising and failed to mention that the advertising was authorized by the Liberal Party. It's also an offense for a person to distribute, transmit, or publish any material that is purported to be made by a political party if it has done so with the intent of misleading the public into believing that it was made, distributed, transmitted, or published by that party. They're breaking the law. The Liberal Party later released a statement acknowledging that the conduct was, quote, totally unacceptable and apologizing for it unreservedly. I'm sorry, they said those words perhaps, but they did not mean it. The Liberal Party asserted that it was done merely to poke fun. Ha ha ha, that's so funny. A thinly veiled attempt to try to create a statutory defense of satire or parody. In reality, the object was neither satire nor parody, but rather to hurt the public image of the Conservative Party and its candidates to benefit the Liberal Party and its candidates. And we are going to go through the Liberal Party's records on this. Neither John Doe 1 nor John Doe 2 was fired by the Liberal Party, but instead purportedly reassigned. The defendant's conduct warrants the court's condemnation through a significant award of punitive and or exemplary damages, both as an expression of the court's reprimand and to discourage similar conduct. The plaintiffs proposed this action be tried in the city of Toronto. And thus, I conclude the entire lawsuit. It's pretty brief, isn't it? Like it really starts on page 3 and it finishes at the top of page 9. Scroll down. Is there anything else? Just the name of our lawyers and some name. Yeah. So that's about it. That's the lawsuit. What do you think? Feel free to let me know in Super Chats. I'm pretty pumped about this because, like, what are the odds? What are the odds that they stole something I owned? Pretty small. But obviously they didn't check. Like we set up things from time to time. We set up projects or companies, and it's super cheap to do a search, a trademark search, a name search, and like you could, if you had a lawyer, you could do it almost for free. Like it's so quick. It's like you can even do it online, I bet. Go online right now and type Canada trademark search and then type in make Canada great again. You don't need a lawyer. What am I saying? You can do it yourself. Everything's online these days. They knew what they were doing. They knew that their plan was to make it look like Pierre Poilievre was a mini MAGA, maple MAGA, mini Trump poodle. That was their plan. And it just so happened that they were using a brand that I owned. And I spent thousands of dollars on that brand. And it's worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know the full value of it. I know we just signed a deal not long ago to sub-license the name. And the Liberal Party comes in and steals it. And I think if they were to steal it from most other people would say, oh, what are you going to do? It's the Prime Minister who stole from me. I don't have the time or money to sue the Prime Minister. I'm scared of the Prime Minister. I don't want to sue him. I'm just going to walk away and pretend I wasn't mugged by the Prime Minister. Yeah, we're a little different over here at Rebel News now, aren't we?